Sports Mix Extreme Energy Review. We're going to review this dog food's ingredients, calories, and then I'm going to let you know the applications. So as you guys know, right now we are feeding Sports Mix High Energy, which is 24% protein, 20% fat. But our puppies are not putting on the weight that we need them to put on. Also, Mufasa, our Cane Corso, needs to gain more weight. And we can tell that at times the Sports Mix High Energy is just not enough nutrients for them. So we're going to get another dog food called Value Pack, which also has the glucosamines. We got a glucosamine video coming out, chondroitin video coming out before or after this video, whichever one drops. Just look for it. It's a breeder's hack in that video. But we're going to get into this food. It's a breeder's hack. So what we did was, I only saw these two on the shelf, so someone said, let's try this gray bag. I tried the blue bag a long time ago, which is Sports Mix. It's the blue bag, but it wasn't no good. So I tried this one. Let's get into the ingredients. Chicken meal. Chicken meal is the #1 ingredient. That is a good sign because it's chicken meal is like 34% protein or something like that. Next, you got ground yellow corn. Ground yellow corn is not bad. It may not be good, but ground yellow corn just lets you know that they use whole corn. It's not corn byproduct meal, or it's not, something else. It's just straight up corn, which is good for me. Next, we got chicken fat. Chicken fat is the best kind of energy for dogs, just fat, period. Next, we got mixed with tocopherols, which I think is a chemical form of vitamin E, which is a preservative. Then next, we got corn germ meal. The germ is the little small part of the corn. I believe it's high in nutrients and high in protein. I'm assuming that's what it is. I really didn't look it up. But that means that it has a lot more nutrients, and it's specifically telling you that it's the germ. So it's something that's a byproduct of making cornmeal. So they ground up whole corn, and then they use the germ that was left over from making cornmeal, more than likely, which I'm okay with, because germ is supposedly the part with the nutrients, dense part of the corn. It's oils and different things like that. Next, we got white fish meal. White fish meal is going to give you that omega-6s and 3s, or one of them. Just good for the skin, good for the eye development, good for the brain, good for the fur. So that's a good thing. Next, you got flaxseed. Flaxseed is omega-3s and 6s, or 3 or 6, one of them. I really don't know which one it is specifically, but you can look it up, because you shouldn't be taking anybody's word for it. You should be looking it up. All you need to know is omega-3s and 6s are good for dogs. You just don't want to overdo either one of them, but you want to make sure they got a good amount. The way that I measure a dog's amount of vitamins, of amino acids or whatever for the omega-6 and omega-3s, I take both numbers and I add them together, and it gives me a score. Any dog food coming close to 4, or 3 to 4, or 3.5 to 4, I'm cool with that. You don't need much more than that. So this one, it's 3% omega-6 fatty acids and 0.5 omega-3s. That gives it a 3.5 score. Not a 4 score, but a 3.5, right in the middle. You don't get much higher than a 4 when I add those two numbers together. Next, you got yeast, salt, potassium, and all these other different vitamins. One of the main vitamins I like that I see that it has is copper. I like to see copper sulfate. I like to see this magnesium. I like to see the zinc. I see it's got another form of copper and another form of magnesium. It's got some cobalt carbonates. These are different types of strong minerals that build strong bodies and build strong frames on dogs. So I love to see copper. It's got 2 types of coppers in it. It's got zinc. Zinc is really good for the body. It's got folic acid, which is really good It's an amino acid. It's got vitamin D supplement, which is good. It's got the B12 for energy. It's got thiamine, which is like another form of vitamin B6 or 12 or whatever. So it's got a lot of that in it. Next, we'll get down to the protein level. It's 30% protein. The fact that the number one ingredient is fish, then you have the white fish meal, which is listed in the sources of protein, is leading me to believe that you got fish meal. Oh, it also has rice in it too. It has rice. So rice is a good carbohydrate also for the dogs, for energy. Simple carbohydrate. I don't think really rice might be a complex carbohydrate in a way. Maybe corn too in a way. Not really. Depends on what kind of rice it is. If it's bleached or whatever, you really just gotta, depends on how you really look at it. But what I will say is this. I believe that normally you can take the amount of fat and divide it into the amount of protein, and that should normally give you the percentage of raw protein in your diet that's coming from a meat source. That's kind of in a nutshell what I'm getting at. So if you got 20% out of 30, let's give it 15. Let's just say that this food is probably, you don't want to say 50 because 50 is high, but I want to say that this food is probably 40% meat source. I'm just guessing. I could be wrong, but based on the stool that I get from my dogs, and also another key factor that's leading me to believe that 40 to 50% of this food is coming from a meat source is because it's only 374 calories per cup. That is extremely low. If you're dealing with a low grade dog food that is mostly consists of corn byproduct meals, wheat byproducts of wheat and corn, you're going to have about 500 calories per cup. So this is about 125 calories away from cheap dog food that's going to come in at 500 calories per cup. When you see a dog food that's coming in at 500 calories per cup, depending on the price range of that dog food isn't a $100 bag, and that dog food is a, let's say, $50 or $40 and under bag. You got to know that dog food is mostly carbs. It's mostly byproducts. It's mostly garbage. So let's talk about how this dog food can be good for us theoretically and how we can use it at our kennel. So we're using a lower tier protein dog food, right? So that means that our dogs are not getting as much protein as we could be giving them. So we're going to increase the protein level and we're going to keep the calories here. So we're increasing the protein and we're keeping the protein and the fat here, and the calories don't move. The food that we're already using is 370 calories. This is only 370, this is only 375. So the calories are not moving up. How that can be good for us, and we can make anything sound good for yourself, right? But how can it be good for you? The less calories is showing that you don't have a lot of junk in your food, a lot of sugars and a lot of carbs. So those proteins are the building blocks for the dog's body. So we're increasing the building blocks for the dogs so the dog's bodies can build themselves up more readily. And we're just ever so slightly increasing the calories by, let's just say, if you're giving 4 cups a day, 5, 10, 15, 20. You're increasing by 20 calories a day, which over a week will increase by 100 or 120, which over a month would be this, that, the third. So over a month, you're increasing the calories by almost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're increasing almost by 600 calories in a month. A small amount, but they say 5 or 10 pounds of body weight is 1 apple extra a day. So that's how we're using this. And what we're doing now is we're just mixing in 20% or 25% of this with the other dog food that we're using. Thanks.